My father, Pierre, who is originally Parisian, came to Paris with us to do some sightseeing. Todd and I wanted to take a wine tour, so my father suggested the world-famous wineries of Burgundy, pronounced Bourgogne in French. The Burgundy wines are some of the most delicate and most expensive Chardonnay and Pinot Noir wines in the world. We boarded a train to Burgundy for our 7-hour wine tasting tour of the region with an exciting twist. We would be traveling the region on bicycles. My father selected the tour for us. He chose a super friendly tour company called Burgundy Evasion. They are lovely and they make sure everyone's equipped with a proper bike and a helmet for the ride. What I didn't consider is that my father is 82 years old and perhaps I should be looking out for him and not taking him out on bike tours through the hillsides of France. But my father, as usual, is game for everything and I love him for that. Handsome Devil wasn't too keen on the bike helmet thing. I had to tease him a little bit.
Maybe you're so sexy with that helmet.
Yeah, there's nothing that screams sexy like a bicycle helmet.
Yeah. You got this, Daddy. Woo.
So we put on our helmets and off we went to bike the hills of Burgundy and taste world-famous wines. Our guide was great. And the thing I noticed she put a heavy focus on was the map of Burgundy showing all the small vineyard plots. She talked us through the fact that each vine plot on the map has its own terroir, which is the French word for the combination of the geography, geology, soil mixtures, and the climate. On the way to our first wine tasting, we stopped by a medieval castle. The word for this is Chateau in French. Our guide let us know the castle is up for sale, so we were welcome to buy it and give it some love. Our first real stop was an actual Pinot Noir vineyard. Our guide wanted us to see the beautiful vines and the harvesting techniques. They don't use machines to harvest the grapes. All of the vines are harvested by hand.
I'm very excited.
Okay.
Oh my God. Look. Oh. Want to taste it? This is awesome. I'm literally eating some of the fanciest wine grapes in the world. Walking through the vineyard. So cool.
We arrived at our first winery, the Chateau de CHASSAGNE-MONTRACHET. My father, Handsome Devil, and I are huge geeky Star Trek fans, so we were giggling when we saw the sign that said it was the Picard family vineyard, because Jean-Luc Picard was the French starship captain of the Enterprise, and his family also owned a vineyard, so we got a good chuckle out of that. This was our first tasting of Burgundy wines, and we quickly noted how different they are from California wines. Both the reds and the whites were very complex with many fruity, spicy notes, but also incredibly light and fresh. The California wines I was used to are much richer and thicker bodied. These wines were so light. They each had a different complex combination of flavors depending on which plot and which terroir they came from. I was beginning to see why the Burgundy wines were so famous around the world. Our next stop was lunch at the famous Olivier Le Foll wine tasting room. We had a traditional meal of charcuterie, cheese, and salad, accompanied by the wine of our choice. Or we ate lunch.
And now I've had, what, 2 glasses of wine between the wine tasting and the lunch?
2 entire glasses of wine over the last 3 hours. Hammered.
Yeah, here's the thing is I don't drink at all, so I'm a real lightweight, and if I drink, I usually have half a drink. So now I've had 2 glasses of wine, and I think we have to bike more.
Dude, we're gonna get back on the bikes, baby, now that I've had a lot of wine. Our last stop was the family winery of Domen Guillaume, BADUEL. The owner took us on a tour of his caves where we had our last wine tasting. The pride of these winemakers is apparent. They are great traditionalists who care deeply about the quality of their wines.
Oxygen content down here is very low, so I'm panting like I've just done a marathon. I'm having a hard time breathing.
All the CO2 in there.
CO2 from the fermentation.
It's science, baby.
That's science. So funny. Maybe we can get in shape down here.
The 2 method.
CO2, the CO2 in shape.
Sit there.
And so our beautiful wine biking tour of Burgundy was complete. I learned how unique the Burgundy region wines are from other wines, not only from the California wines that I knew, but from each other. Each plot has a different combination of soil and climate, so a plot can produce a completely different tasting wine than the plot right next door to it. The complexities are an art form that the winemakers have a right to be very proud of. If you are a wine lover, I recommend you visit Burgundy, and biking through the vineyards and small towns adds a nice touch, because I really felt that I had not only tasted the Burgundy wines, but I had visited the area and gotten a feel for it. There are links below that reference the tour company and each winery if you'd like to check them out. I wish you an amazing trip to Burgundy.